Welcome to the DashTag podcast. Today we have Mike Austell, and he's going to tell us how to turn a differential into soup with 800 horsepower. Well, Mike, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man. That's great.
For sure.
So just so the listener knows, Mike, kind of a Mercedes guy, right?
I've been a Mercedes guy for quite some time. Never could really afford the really nice ones. I started out with an old one, kind of like the one in the background over here, and then was trucks forever until 2020 came around and the pandemic, and there was empty roads, and I decided it was time for me to have an AMG in my garage.
Yeah. So tell me the story about the one behind us first.
The one behind us is what happens when I drink at night and someone sends me a link to bring a trailer, and I see a two-door big body Benz with a 2JZ swap and a 6-speed manual, and I start bidding on it. And next thing I knew, I was the proud owner of a clapped out 88 Mercedes with a 2JZ that was poorly swapped. I found out the hard way. Brandon almost died with me on its test flight. When we took delivery of it, they had not torqued the lug nuts on the rear wheels, and we whipped it about 100 plus down the interstate both ways. And the next morning, I went to get gas so I could go to, can I say Slush?
Yeah,
So I had to go to Slush Motorsports Festival and show off my new toy, and the wheel was wobbling around, and I found that all 10 lugs were finger tight.
Oh, nice.
So we almost made Carla a single mom.
Yep.
And but now we're all good. So.
Yeah, that was actually a really cool experience. Mike gives me a call. He's like, "Hey, I got a car coming," and I didn't know what it was. And he's like, "Come to the house. It's being dropped off today at this time." So I showed up, and fancy trailer, big truck, and I see this thing pull out of it. I'm like, I don't really understand what's happening right now. And then it turns on, and I'm like, oh, that's something kind of special. And yeah, we went around, and I'd never been inside of a 2JZ vehicle, let alone that.
Yeah. Or a poorly swapped one.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And it was incredible, and it was par for the course for everything that you and I have kind of done together.
Yeah. I mean, it was poorly swapped, but it still ripped.
Yeah.
Until it didn't, and then I turned the diff to soup, and then we custom. By we, I mean the person I gave all this money to, because I don't really turn wrenches. But Mo at Slow Mo Motorsports reworked the whole engine, bigger turbo. God, I don't even know, custom exhausts, custom diff, custom axles, hubs. And right now we've got an electric leak somewhere, and I can't get it to hold a charge. So it's going to go on a tow truck back up to Slow-Mo.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. So I've heard stories that potentially there's a window broken because of some high-speed run.
On the interior, actually.
Okay.
I decided to do a roll race with another AMG, a modern AMG C63S that was built to about 700 at the wheels. And I found out that the interior is not made for 140 mile an hour wind. And it ripped part of the headliner down the back C pillar, I guess. I don't know. There's no B pillar on this.
Yeah.
So just one more thing. We were planning on doing the full interior restoration, full exterior restoration, just really turn it into a full resto mod Mercedes. It's kind of always been a dream of mine, like since I knew what AMG was, to get an old, I really wanted like a 70, like an early 70s, like a Finney, or like a late 60s, and to do like a full AMG swap transmission, everything. But instead I have Frankenstein over here.
Yeah.
What year is this?
It's an 88 300 CE with a 2JZ GTE swap and a T56 transmission and an AEM Infinity and blah, 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 blah. Lots of stuff.
And that's got about how much power?
It dynoed 840 at the wheels, and a little lower on the torque, like in the 600s, somewhere around there.
And this isn't even your fastest Benz.
No. This is it's probably faster than the G-Wagon if we were...
Just power-wise, on numbers.
Yeah.
Of course, the new ones have a little bit of an advantage with electronic launch control.
Launch control, all-wheel drive, drag slicks. This is
dual clutch.
This is on 235s. Yeah, dual clutch. There's a whole lot of different. This one's just raw fun.
Yeah. So between the two stories of the wheels almost falling off, the differential turning to soup, 3 stories, and then the window falling out potentially, are those like the 3 highlights of owning the car?
Yeah, I think I've had it for a year and a half, and I've driven it like 4 times.
Okay, so it's a story almost every time. It's kind of
we just keep finding the weak spot, and it's actually just been sitting here all winter right now. We got to work out. There's a little bit with the custom hubs leaking on the rear. The custom diff has a little leak, and just a couple. It'll be ready to rip by spring.
Yeah.
And then we'll have some fun until we break something else.
Yep. So, I mean, Mercedes-AMG, that is like the top of the top, right? Where did you start? What was the first car, and was that the same car that then you said, okay, I like cars, I get this?
My first car was a '86 944 Porsche.
Right out of the gate.
Naturally aspirated. It cost a whole $8,000. It was the same price as a new Geo Metro at the time, and my parents gave me that choice.
Well, that's a better choice.
Yeah, definitely took
Yeah.
that choice. After that, I had an SUV, and then I had an old school '82 diesel Mercedes. Really started falling in love with the Mercedes brand. My family, I know I look Mexican, but my family's Mexican, and for some reason, every family member I have in Texas has a Mercedes. It was part of my aunts and uncles. They all drove Mercedes, and I loved it. And then that's when I saw when the C43 first came out, and I was like, whoa, that's wild. And it was like every time one got within okay, it's used, I could maybe afford a slightly used one, then they'd come out with a better one, and then a better one, and then a better one, and they kept moving the carrot and raising the bar, and finally in May of 2020 is when I took delivery of my GLC 63S, and that just set it off for me. I love that car.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. So do you feel like Mercedes is a lifelong brand for you now?
Yeah, I'm sure I'll always have a Mercedes or two laying around. I'm starting to elevate a little more. We've added a couple more older model supercars to the garage recently, but still that Mercedes, when I drive it, it just makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Both of them, actually.
And then your diesel Mercedes, was that the inline 5 turbo?
It was not. It was a 4. It wasn't even the fun one. It was just the 240.
fun one.
Yeah, the 300 TD that you're talking about. My stepdad had one of those briefly, and I was like, wow, this is kind of wild for a diesel car to spin the wheels, and I just like the style of Mercedes. One day, maybe Maybach will elevate a little more.
I mean, they're kind of going in a way. I mean, they're already very blingy and fancy and bougie, may I say, but like the new ones, the 26s, 27s, they're not. I mean, what's your opinion of them? Have you seen them?
Ooh, which ones?
Just like the S600 or S700 or whatever it is now. Like,
so the SL 600 that just came out is pretty damn sexy.
Okay.
Maybach.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, but and honestly, it's for the money. I don't know that it's that much. I mean,
I've never looked at the price tag of a
I'm
Maybach.
trying not to.
I feel like that's a car you got to be in the back seat though. Like you don't really want to be driving it.
There is no back seat in the SL.
Oh, is it a two? Is it a
It's
two?
the convertible. Yeah, it's the convertible.
But overall, okay.
Oh,
So
I've
let's
seen
say,
those. They actually, yeah.
And the rag top actually
Yep.
has the Maybach logo printed almost like a Louis Vuitton bag.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, it's very Bentley-esque, actually. It's almost like a Continental.
I was gonna say, yeah, like the Rolls-Royce Wraith, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Similar.
but no suicide doors,
Right.
unfortunately.
Would you drive a 4-door Maybach though?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I'll grab whatever. Give me the keys. Let's go.
So you mentioned slush. Are the Mercedes just big body cruisers? Do you like to go down the drag strip? Is there?
The GLC I built for the drag strip. Once I took it, I mean, I met Brandon early on when I had it, and we went to High Plains Race. Was I think the first time I met Brandon, and I whipped it around. I almost rolled it, and then I realized that once I started realizing that you could tune it and you could put it on ethanol and you could up the turbos and fuel pumps, and it was just like a disease that I couldn't stop. And I wanted to have the fastest GLC in the world, and at one point I did, and that's because the previous fastest one blew up. Now a couple people have pushed it a little further, and I'm not sure that I want to blow up my car. So I've been making really reliable power on it for about 3 years, I think now, and it's been holding it. So we got a couple tweaks. It's starting to blow a little smoke. We need a catch can set up on it, and so that's next up for me to funnel money to my Cougar.
Yeah, I remember Mike and I have raced a few times. any kind of sanctioned race, I've always won, and he can attest to that. But there was this one time where I'm going to throw all the excuses out there because I have them, right?
It's a good excuse.
Right,
like a good racer.
I had winter tires on. It was cold outside.
I was on drag slicks.
He was on drag slicks, and
You had a cold, right?
yeah, I was sneezing a little
Yeah.
bit. Kind of eyes were blurry.
He didn't see the light. He's colorblind.
And so we're at a light, and I had every intention of racing him. So it wasn't an unexpected moment. I think I was even on launch control, and by the time that I left, he was through the intersection.
Yeah, you were spinning.
And that was the one time that Mike had beat me. And then you said earlier, whenever you get on it, you laugh. Like I remember just like giggling, right, watching that car just take off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I get it. I get now why people take GLCs and put big power behind them because, it might be an SUV, but at 900 horsepower or 800 horsepower, whatever it is, like they'll still move.
Yeah, it gets down. That was a fun one. I knew it was the tires 100%, but I took the W. I was going to take it.
I would have too.
So.
And if I would have won, I would have had a different story. I would have, it would have been the exact story, just different.
Yeah, I've never heard the end of it.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
And that was a sanctioned event, by the way. We would never participate in illegal activities with our vehicles.
No, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when the window decided to fail.
That
Right?
was,
So 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, that was, I think, Montana somewhere. Wherever they don't
It was
have
a
speed limits.
Mercedes defect. It just happened.
Yeah.
If you could talk to your 25-year-old self and kind of looking at what you know now about owning Mercedes through the years, is there a model you wish you would have owned? Would you steer your childhood self to be like, hey, start here?
I mean, 25, that's when I wanted that C43.
Yeah.
So the original, well, I guess the C36 was the first one, but yeah, that C43, it was just so sexy. The interior was so pretty, two-tone leather seats, and it just like haunted me, and then it was the 55 came out, and then the 63 came out, and then there was another 0 in the price, and it was like, damn. So anyway.
Yeah, back when there were V8s and not V6s, and
Yeah. Yep. So they're bringing back the V8. They're done with all that nonsense.
Are they?
Oh yeah. All the new models are back to V8. No more hybrids. None of that nonsense.
I wonder how they're figuring all that out.
I think you see this with a lot of German car companies right now. They realize that the future is going to be alternative fuel, and so they're putting less investment behind electric.
Yeah.
Because they just know.
Yeah, I think electric is failing, right? I think not failing. That's not the right term. I mean, I think the enthusiasts, the ones that are on DashTag, the ones that are here, like we're going to find a way to, use alternative fuel rather than using electric.
Yeah.
Like, I know Porsche, like they're doing a big push on like hydrogen fuel, and now they're coming out and they're going to turbo the GT3s. So it's actually kind of cool to hear Mercedes is going to stick with the V8s.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Toyota has been pushing the hydrogen for a long, long time, and I think that they're starting to double down on that as well too. So that's kind of cool because the exhaust is water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
You were mentioning some trucks and the ownership. I know what you do for a living, but were there off-roaders in that equation? Was there a lot of four-wheel drive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My first truck was when I sold my diesel Mercedes. I got a 99 Tacoma, four-wheel drive V6. That was the month before I moved to Colorado. And it was just a beast, like stock. I could take it up Wheeler's Gulch or Wheeler's Lake Trail, which is insane today. I mean, it's eroded heavily since 25 years ago, but it was just wild. And then I always wanted, I wanted to build that one. And then the recession started hitting in 2008. I had just bought a Tundra, a 07 Tundra. And I ended up selling my Tacoma, which I should never. I sold it for like $8,500, where I could probably get $20,000 for it now.
Right.
And so then I was like, man, I need an off-roader. And a buddy of mine was selling. He had a first-gen 4Runner, which I had always wanted since the day it came out, and he had it fully built on 37s, lockers front and rear, twin dual transfer cases, and it was just a monster, and it unstoppable. And I loved it. I started my own company. I did not have time to get out on the trails, and it literally sat right here in this shop for like 4 years, and I sold it to a happy new owner who is the part director up at Steamboat. So it's going to be smashing through some big snow up there and getting some wheeling action, and he was thrilled. So good to see it go to a good home.
Do you take G-Wagon off-road?
I would. My wife will not let me. Okay. I want to take it to Moab because there's nothing to scratch it unless you roll it.
Unless you roll it, being the key part right there.
Yeah,
So
go all
there's,
in.
there's one or two spots I probably wouldn't test it, but I've seen what it can do. I've seen Whistle and Diesel take the he took a G-Wagon and just smashed every trail on in Moab from what I remember. So it's very capable. It's been on a dirt lot before at the base of Wheeler's
Nice.
Lake.
That's
so yeah,
good.
that's
Close.
next
Yes.
off-roading. So it's too pretty. It's her baby. She loves it. We toyed with selling it when she got her Ferrari, and then she said, you know what, this is my first really nice car, and I'm going to keep it.
Yeah.
So, but she loves this 4Runner just as much. So, which is weird.
If someone scanned one of your dash tags right now on any of your vehicles, is there a story that you'd really like them to discover or learn about you, how you got here as a business owner who's now owns 800 horsepower Mercedes, or is it a spec thing? Like, what is that benefit for you that you want the listener to know, but also someone who scans a dash tag to learn about you?
You know, I would say that my GLC opened doors to me that I didn't even know were there. So me joining, it was my official debut into the car community. Mike's got this crazy Mercedes, showed up to the Mercedes meet, showed up to slush meet, showed up to Bandamere drag racing, blowing people's mind that this 4,800 pound SUV ran a 10.32 at Bandamere at 133 miles an hour.
And for those that don't know, Bandamere, DA is 8,000 to 10,000
yeah,
feet,
it's
right?
8,500,
Like it's,
pretty.
Yeah.
you're a whole mountain higher than you are anywhere else. So running a 10.3 is like running like a 9.5 anywhere else.
Isn't the track slightly adjusted to high elevation versus like completely flat? I've always heard that.
It's pretty flat, and then at the end it ramps up just enough
Yeah,
to break
past the
and slow
quarter
down.
mile,
Yeah. But yeah, it was like, that's wild. That was, I think I'm still number 3 on Draggy as far as the fastest quarter mile in a GLC, and one of those is from GAD, which is out of Russia and Dubai, which they just throw stupid money at them and don't care if they blow up.
Right.
And that's what happened with GAD Racing. I think the other one that's faster than me is a tuning company. So,
Okay.
I mean,
Like for a shop car.
Mine was a couple of aftermarket, some secondhand off of a blown up GLC. I mean, I bought a lot of my parts used, and I think I'm less than 10 grand into my full build on that, which is wild.
Wow.
Like if it was all retail, it'd probably be 30 or more. Definitely a little less than the Miami Rice over here.
Yeah, but that's different, right? And we'll get some footage of that so the viewers can kind of see what Miami Rice is and what Mike has over there, because it's incredible what you've done with that thing. So, how'd you discover DashTag?
Through you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You came to me and like, hey, I'm looking at doing this. It's kind of combining social media with marketplace, and so yeah, I was like, let's do it. Let me see what I can do to help. And I feel a little guilty right now. I got a new phone and I have not logged in to my computer so I can get my password to the phone at the same time.
We'll get you squared away when we get done here. So actually, Mike has been one of the people that's been asking me for dash tags, for stickers for his cars for a while. And for those that have been kind of following our story, like we've been figuring out the technology and figuring out the printer and figuring out all the nuance of kind of what makes a dash tag kind of stick and not a road. And and today we're gonna actually get you your stickers finally.
Sweet.
And I really kind of appreciate you just kind of constantly bugging me for them and making me feel like we built a platform for you to appreciate and wanting to show it off. It means a lot to us.
Yeah, I think we met
Glad we
at Slush. You were one of the earliest kind of users of the platform that we talked to. I believe we printed out stickers at that time.
Yep.
Yeah, at the big Slush Festival.
Yeah, what was supposed to be our grand release.
That was
Yeah.
grand opening party.
And then we had no internet.
Yeah,
Oh, there's that.
Yeah, so for those who ever want to host events, if you need internet connectivity to do it, go somewhere where there's internet.
yeah.
So yeah, that was a bummer. But yeah, you were there, you were hanging out with us. You were one of the first ones to get a sticker. You brought friends over and they got stickers. So you've been super impactful. I mean, you were using it on the rally last year. Automobili. Are you going to go again this year or some other year in the future?
I'm sure I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too far out. I'm still looking at what's happening next week.
Yeah,
So.
I get that.
But we definitely, automobile is a blast, obviously, and my car is not, the GLC, unfortunately, there's not ethanol stations all through the mountains, and the first time I took the GLC on the first automobile, I blew all the injectors out, and they looked like the Bellagio fountain, and I made it all the way to Woodland Park, and then it was a very expensive tow home, and then hop in the G-Wagon to catch up with everybody for dinner.
You won an award that year, didn't you?
I won the Spirit of the Rally,
Yeah.
which was a bent rod.
Yeah.
Thank God it was not a bent rod that
Yes.
I had.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that was my first trophy for any of my cars.
I remember hearing on the radio where like, someone's SUV is pulled over. I'm like, it's one of two people, and it's probably Mike.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I was all over John Stubbs and his Turbo S, which was also built, and I was beating on that car. It should not be driven like that, but it was.
Yeah.
And it was having fun. So.
I had a similar story. I lost a clutch in Woodland Park on the first automobile rally that I did. And then luckily, I was able to just keep the car neutral and literally coast it down 24 all the way back into the Springs.
Nice.
And when we got the car back to the shop, it literally looked like a spaghetti noodle, like someone had just twisted it. The drive shaft was just completely screwed.
Oh man.
Where were we when we were doing the DashTag drive last year when I was almost out of gas and I called you? You were in the Raptor, I was on the bike. And we were coming towards the base of a hill or a mountain, and my bike light just turned on. It doesn't have any kind of like, you have 15 miles left. It was like, you're out of gas. Right. And I called him. I'm like, I'm going up this mountain, and I'm going to try to just coast down. But I was like, I might need a ride.
Yeah, we were on the Gold Rush Rally for DashTag.
Yeah.
And that's when I learned that Brandon has the only motorcycle that gets 3 miles to the gallon.
Might be driver error there.
Yeah. It's a feature, not a bug. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, I'm almost out of gas. So I was like, how? Like, how is that possible? How did you burn through somehow 5 gallons of gas and we've gone 2 miles?
It's a little bit of an exaggeration, but it's pretty close.
I can imagine
Yeah.
that thing.
And I think you coasted in neutral.
Yeah,
right?
I literally was riding the clutch the entire way down. I mean, I went into neutral a couple times, but like with that bike, once you get it back in gear, the torque is there, so it's kind of like unsettling. So I just kind of held the clutch for 10 minutes going downhill.
Yeah. I mean, that's not the worst story to come from the rally that year.
No, the rain, lost my wallet.
Lost his wallet.
Yeah. So next year I'm gonna probably bring a car instead of a bike.
Fair.
And not bring mesh backpacks to hold valuables. Learned that lesson.
But we learned AirTags work really well.
Yes.
We found the wallet.
Yep.
Okay, nice.
Yep. Yeah, so I had an AirTag sitting in, like my wallet has a little hole, and I had the AirTag in there, and I saw, cause my phone's mounted on the center part.
Tank.
Sure. No, it's and I saw it light up that like your wallet is no longer by you, and I'm like, oh, I must have just lost signal, and no, at that very moment it had flown out and landed there, and an hour later or whatever he went, I'm gonna go find it, and he found it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ran over and missing money, but
Yeah, there was money like spread all over this field. So it kind of felt like Easter for me. So I
Yeah.
was like, oh, cool. $5. Yeah.
Score.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. Well, Mike, thanks for being on.
Yeah.
It's been great
absolutely.
having you.
Absolutely.